In 1949, the Indian mathematician and author Shakuntala Devi visited the Caribbean island nation of Trinidad and Tobago. A young woman prodigy in a field dominated by men, Devi was an inspiration to many. She became the namesake of a girl born in Trinidad in the same year of her visit, who, like Devi, would go on to great achievements in science, promoting good nutrition and strong development for all children. Born in the Caribbean island of Trinidad in the small village of Reform, Shakuntala Haraksingh Tilsted grew up in a four-generation household, where the kitchen was the heart of the home. Her grandmother presided over cooking meals for the family and instilled in young Shakuntala an appreciation for good food and its importance for good health. It was her grandmother who first imparted to her the importance of fish for nutrition.
I remember as a child, one of my uncles won the island scholarship, and my grandmother was interviewed by the national newspaper. I don't remember all what she said, but I remembered clearly her saying, "Well, my child is intelligent because I fed him fish when he was a small boy." And that stuck with me.
Tilsted attended Naparima Girls High School and completed her undergraduate education at the Trinidad campus of the University of the West Indies. She then worked as an agricultural officer in Tobago, serving as the first and only woman working in the Ministry of Agriculture, Lands, and Fisheries on the island. Shakuntala earned her doctorate at the Royal Veterinary and Agricultural University in Denmark, now part of the University of Copenhagen, and went on to become an associate professor. For the next few years, she alternated between teaching in Denmark and working on projects all over the developing world to improve nutrition for women and young children. In Bangladesh in the late 1980s, Tilsted worked as a nutrition coordinator at the International Center for Diarrheal Disease Research.
About 7,000 children came into this center every year. 2/3 were boys, 1/3 girls, and usually they were so sick and so undernourished that they were brought in at too late a stage, and many of them died. And I was extremely frustrated working at this end, and I wanted to work much further up where I could do something for them. One of the scientists at the ICDDRB, who had in fact patented the salt sugar solution for diarrhea, said to me, "If you really want to do something for these children, you should work with making sure they eat fish. And that would help with their undernutrition." So I went back to work in Copenhagen at the University of the Copenhagen, and I decided to work with fish and food and nutrition security.
Tilsted was the first to establish that commonly consumed small fish were important sources of essential micronutrients and fatty acids. This groundbreaking research reshaped the scientific understanding of the benefits of fish in diets. With this information, Tilsted set out to increase consumption of small fish, such as mola, especially for women and their children in the first 1,000 days of life. Together with researchers at Bangladesh Agricultural University, she led a talented team of Bangladeshi and Danish students and researchers in developing pond polyculture systems, farming small fish together with large fish. The pond polyculture approach increased total productivity by as much as 5 times. Consumption of fish in the home increased substantially when Tilsted introduced an inexpensive, homemade gill net designed for women to easily harvest mola in small amounts for daily household use. Though mola accounted for only 15% of production by weight, it contributed half of the vitamin A and vitamin B12 and 1/4 of the calcium and iron needs of a family of 4. Tilsted strove against the current to convince others of the merits of pond polyculture. Her efforts paid off in 2004, when the Bangladesh Ministry of Fisheries and Livestock prohibited the use of pesticides to kill naturally occurring small fish. Tilsted convinced the leadership of a nation to convert to practices that were not only more economical and nutrition sensitive, but reduced environmental pressures, habitat loss, and health risks in rural communities. Tilsted extended her innovative approach by creating new, ready-to-use fish-based foods, especially targeted for mothers and their young children. Building on popular local recipes, she developed fish chutney and fish powder with 4 times the nutrient density of fresh fish. Improvements in processing practices also reduced fish waste and loss, and increased incomes for entrepreneurs, most of them women, who produced these value-added foods. The success of Tilsted's efforts prompted the government of Bangladesh to promote pond polyculture as the foremost food-based intervention in their all-important country investment plan. Tilsted now serves as the global lead for nutrition and public health at CGIAR's World Fish, headquartered in Malaysia. Her work guides World Fish, other research institutions, major funders, government agencies, and public and private organizations to work together to reshape food systems to deliver on the UN's Sustainable Development Goals. Young researchers that Tilsted mentored now use her holistic approach to increase the sustainable production and consumption of nutritious fish and fish-based foods in Asia, Africa, and the Pacific, including in Cambodia, India, Myanmar, Nepal, Malawi, Sierra Leone, and Zambia. As an advisor to heads of state, ministers, high-level panels, and international boards, Tilsted provides direction for research, policies, and practices in pursuit of improved food systems that boost biodiversity, enhance environments, reinforce resilient communities, increase incomes, empower women, and provide adequate nutrition for all. Tilsted's trailblazing research on small native fish species in Bangladesh led to the development of nutrition-sensitive approaches to aquatic food systems at all levels, from the farm to food processing to final consumers. It resulted in improved diets for millions of the most vulnerable people in Asia and Africa. For this, and for her work expanding food systems from feeding people to nourishing the hundreds of millions reliant on aquatic foods for nutrition security, improved livelihoods, and a thriving next generation, we are proud to honor Dr. Shakuntala Haraksingh Tilsted as the 2021 World Food Prize Laureate.